What is up, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of our Pro Cyclist mode. Today is our first Tour de France, and it looks like it's one where we might be able to compete for some stage wins. We have 4 hilly stages, 1 medium mountain stage, and 6 mountain stages that some of them fortunately don't look too tough, so we might be able to be competitive there. And I cannot wait to get this started. I am so excited to finally race the Tour de France. And we will jump right in, get a good look at the first stage, Brest to Landerneau, a 188.1 kilometer hill stage that looks like it would be really well suited for us. But if you take a look at our fitness, we're not quite there yet. Our tiredness got to a point where it was a little too high, so we wanted to be fresh on the tiredness coming into this, but our fitness just lagging a little behind now. I think after the first 2 stages it should be a lot better, but I still like our chances. It is an objective, so we're on a +1 expected race day condition, and I can't wait to try and take our first stage win in our first Tour de France stage. And here with 13k to go, there are 2 climbs left before the finish line. We are sitting here with this group of favorites. Everybody is back in the peloton, and Quinn Simmons decides it's his turn to go. We can't let that get away. Vlasov Guerrero, Romain Gregoire also deciding to make a move. We're not going to use our entire red bar just yet. We do have a long downhill section that we should be able to catch up on. Gregoire, Pidcock, Latour, Thomas. I mean, these are some pretty heavy hitters going up the road, but as long as they're using more stamina than us, that's all we care about right now, as it does actually come back together. So we're going to set our effort just to stay in one spot and remain towards the front of the group. But we're going to look to pop our energy gel slightly early today. We want to go right at the base of that climb, but Steph Kras and Maxime Van Hills trying to make a move for it at an opportune moment. It seems like that might stay away for a decent amount of time. They are still attacking, saving energy by attacking downhill. But now Jasper Philipsen is leading everybody out, which doesn't seem like it would be the greatest choice for Alpecin de Koenig as we ramp up our own effort to 89 and maybe just throw in a little attack here at the bottom. Raise it up a bit. Stop blocking me off, please. Completely ridiculous there by the movie star rider. I think that might have been Remco, but we are going to go all out to the line. Romain Gregoire on our wheel. We don't have enough left for a sprint, and Simmons and Vlasov look like they're in great shape as Martin looks to come around the side, but we do have a tiny bit of a gap, but it's not going to pay off in the end. Mathieu van der Poel is going to take the yellow jersey and stage 1, followed by Julien Alaphilippe, Alexander Vlasov, ourselves, and Quinn Simmons. So nearly there in the yellow jersey after the first stage, but a top 5 is a great result for us. And after stage 1, we will be fortunate enough to wear a distinctive jersey. It will be the white jersey, as we are currently ahead of Quinn Simmons on the same time for that competition. Romain Gregoire, Juan Ayuso, Leo Hayter all back there. I don't think this is one we're going to keep until the end of the tour, but it is nice to be in a jersey for stage 2. And that will lead us into stage 2, Paris-Roubaix to the Mur de Bretagne, a 177 kilometer hill stage, and it looks pretty similar to the last stage, less hills before it, but that finishing ramp looks about identical. So we're gonna have fun with this one, see if we can race that last climb a little better. It does look steeper in that first part, so we won't look to attack from the bottom. When it flattens out, maybe then look to attack, and maybe we have a shot at getting a stage win here. And here with 19k left, we are coming to the base of the Mur de Bretagne for the first time. We will climb it twice, once now and once at the end of the race, but now we get our first taste of what it will be like. If we go up at 85, it looks like Vittel wants to go a little faster, which is completely understandable. This front group is within our reach. So Stefan Kung also pushing. Ghana, Van der Poel, we can't let that go. We're going to have to make sure we stick with this group over the top because we can't afford to lose Van der Poel's wheel, as there is a slight little dig put in by the Vittel team. And now looks like it's going to be a nice cozy ride to the bottom of this climb. And now we're going to go ahead and set ourselves up onto 89. Kung really pounding the front right now. And it's going to be really tough to try and get around this, especially if we're getting blocked off. But there goes Van der Poel, deciding he wants to try and make some kind of a move. And fortunately for us, it looks like we're going to be able to stick with this group. It is a slight downhill to the bottom of the Mer de Bretagne, and we're going to try to attack somewhere along there. Just make sure Van der Poel doesn't get away. And here with 5K to go, we did not let Mathieu Van der Poel get away. Our energy gel has been popped, and we are about to climb the Mer de Bretagne for the last time. We're getting our energy set at a nice 89, getting ready just to pace up the bottom part of this climb. As our energy gel does pop, we're going to have to weave our way through this traffic that loves to block us off so much. The attack's going up the road, and it looks like Van der Poel might be the one that's going to stick, but no, Quinn Simmons decides to go. We're going to save our energy a little bit and hope a final little kick here at the end will bring us around if we don't get blocked off, please. What is that? Jai Hindley, disgusting. The AI in this game needs to be fixed. Please stop blocking off the player every chance they get. Every stage, it seems like somebody directly moves into our way as soon as we attack. It's very frustrating. Stage 2 here at the Tour de France. And after the disappointment of stage 2, we are going to jump straight into stage 3. Normally I won't show the flat stages, but this one has a nice little downhill before the end, so there might be a move to be made. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we're gonna try and look to get over our disappointment quickly by attacking here on the road from Lorient to Pontivy. And we are here with 14K left to go. We are coming up to the final little bits of elevation. We're going to look to attack over that last little bit right here, right before the downhill section. If we can get to the front in time, I mean, Lotto Destiny and Jumbo-Visma are absolutely crushing the pace right now. If that slows down for a second, I think we might be in a position to attack. But for the time being, it's looking a little tough. But here we go. We do come around the side quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and pop our energy gel. We don't want to use any of our red bar just yet, so we're going to set it at 85. Well, we might have to just to get around and attack up this little bit of elevation. We're going to use every bit of acceleration we have. Nobody is on our wheel currently, and we're going to try and stay away. We have a 6-second gap. I don't think that's going to be enough unless, nope, there they are. Unless we can pop our aerodynamic descent, or acrobatic descent, I should say. So it's not going to be a stage win for us here on stage 3. But if that acrobatic descent was there, I would really like to see what our chances would have been of a stage win. And now we're just going to set our effort as high as we can with 1.5k left and stay with this front group. We're never winning a sprint finish. Jonathan Milan looks like he's in a decent position, but it's going to be Fabio Jakobsen, it looks like, to take the stage. No, Jasper Philipsen, Arnaud Delis in second. I am not good at spotting the winners from this far back, but a pretty standard flat stage there at the end of the day, and it says we were on a gap, but hopefully that's not the case. And fortunately it was not the case. There was no time gap, and we have jumped in front of Quinn Simmons again in the GC, putting us back up into 4th. And if we take a look at the young rider classification, we do jump back into the white jersey. So another day in white for Vladimir Saracen. But we will skip ahead in time now to stage 7, and after a 25-kilometer time trial, we have plummeted down the GC rankings. We are in 79th place, about 3 minutes behind the leader. But this looks like a stage that we can attack on, and people aren't going to be as motivated to try and pull us back. It's stage 7, Vierzon de Le Creusot, a 246.1 kilometer hill stage with 5 categorized climbs, none of them too hard. It has a nice little ramp there at the finish as well, and we're going to look to make this our stage. I'm going to be interested to see how the tiredness is going to affect Vladimir Saracen this early into the Tour de France. But if our legs are good and our team is good, I think we will have a decent shot at success here. And here with 40k left to go, we've reached the bottom of the first of the last 3 climbs, the Montagne Saint-Sebastien, and the leading break still has about 2.5 minutes, so the pace on these final climbs is going to be a little bit difficult to stick with this group, but we're hoping we can get over this one and attack on the next. I think would be ideal, and see if we can get a stage win on the books here. And here with 23k left to go, we have reached that second to last climb, the Signal des Uchons, and the front group is starting to splinter, and this is where we're going to look to make our move somewhere further up this climb. Right now, Jumbo-Visma and Lotto Destiny, or Destiny Lotto, really the ones trying to stay in front. As Julian Alaphilippe attacks Quinn Simmons, trying to come around as well. I don't think that attack's going to stick for Alaphilippe, so we're just going to keep sitting on 85 right now, get over this little hump in the mountain, and then attack towards the top. But Julian Alaphilippe may be proving me wrong right now. He is on a blinder right now, as Stefan Kung trying to close it down. Carapaz, Pidcock, Gregoire also trying to make something happen, as we're not going to let them get away scot-free. We're going to have to push our pace up to 89 and try and stick with them. Right now 87 seems to be working out pretty well. We do have a ton of stamina left. Ghana on our wheel, and we're going to look to make our attack right over the top here, get a little bit of a gap, and then set our effort to 85. Hope we can recover a tiny bit on this little downhill. We do have a half a minute gap. We don't want our yellow bar to run out. There is a tiny little lip right here that we can push the pace on, and now recover on the descent. We still have a 14-second gap back to the group of favorites, and we need to recover energy quick to get over this last climb, the Côte de la Gourloyer. But it looks like that attack was in vain, as People Ghana has just immediately shut this down, and now our stamina in a terrible spot. But I can't imagine the rest of the field's gonna be much better after this, as we can set our pace to 75. Looks like Van der Poel was ready to attack from the jump. Alaphilippe as well. Quinn Simmons not enough to follow, but now that he's on the wheel of Romain Gregoire, it looks like he can. And there's only half a kilometer to go until the top of this climb, but our stamina in such a rough spot, we're going to have to hope we just make it over the top with this group. And it looks like we might just do that, as Leo Hayter, our teammate also in this group, might be able to help us out. But with just a tiny sliver of our red bar left, it's going to be tough to compete with this group of 52 riders to try and chase down that 4. But with 4.7k left, it looks like it's going to be slightly more downhill. Maybe we can recover a little bit. It doesn't look like it, and I think we're actually going to be losing time on today. Maybe we just attacked a little too early, and we should have saved our stamina for that last little climb, as we do get a full red bar back here for the little ramp sprint finish. But even then, our energy draining so quickly. Still half a kilometer to go for us as the leading group reaches the finish line, and it looks like it's going to be Romain Gregoire. No, Julian Alaphilippe, then Romain Gregoire. Quinn Simmons in third place. But important for us, I think we're going to stick with this group for GC time. If this slow motion wants to stop at any time, we crack just before the line, there might be a little gap. We might lose 3 or 4 seconds here, but again, not the end of the world. We come across the line in 31st place, but just mistimed the move. Probably should have waited till that last climb. And we skip ahead in time once again to stage 14, Carcassonne to Quillan, a 185.3 kilometer hill stage where it's a mostly downhill finish, and the in-between stages were flats and some really intense mountain stages. We are down in 59th place, about 20 minutes behind, so we have every right to maybe make an attack early or jump in the breakaway and see if we can stay away until the end. And we did end up jumping into the early breakaway. It is a large group, 14 riders. The pace seems like it's going to be pretty high. We've got some great riders in here. Bennett, Campenarts, Soler, Guerrero, Joao Almeida. So up against this level of competition, I'm not sure we're going to be great with the length and steepness of these climbs, but I mean, we're going to hold on for as long as we can and make sure we hit that last climb with as much stamina as we can possibly have. And here with 21k left, we have started the final climb, the Col de Saint-Louis, and Omar Fraile is pushing the pace. This is where we have to make our move, so we're going to up our pace a little bit as well. Our stamina in a pretty decent spot, but we just need to look to get to the front of this group and attack as quickly as possible. We don't want to wait to get to the top, and I think now is probably the perfect time to do that as we, surprise, surprise, get blocked off, and we're going to try and use our acceleration to get away, but Victor Campenart's doing a great job of staying on our wheel, and we are not going to be able to recover that stamina before we get over the top here, as we have a 9-second gap back to the group behind us and a further just about minute 45 seconds back to the peloton. But once we get over this little climb, it is mostly downhill to the line, so I do like our chances to stay away, especially if we can hold on to the wheel of Victor Campenarts. And right now we do get over in first place, and we're gonna follow Victor Campenarts all the way to the line, but it looks like he's sitting up, which we definitely don't want to do, as it invites the rest of the breakaway group back. So it looks like it's going to be a sprint between this group here at the end of stage 14. And here with 5k to go, it does look like it's going to be a bunch sprint from this group, and we are following Joao Almeida's wheel as he has the best sprint stat out of this group. So we have popped our energy gel, and we are just waiting right now, still a minute back to that second group, and now it's just a minute back to the peloton. So nervy time. We can't afford to sit around and play games, but it looks like that's what we're going to do. Joao Almeida starts his sprint early. We're going to start our sprint just after he does, and it looks like Ruben Guerrero and Victor Campenarts are fighting for the win. We probably started a little bit too late, but we do come across the line in third place, just in front of Joao Almeida. So again, not a terrible finish. We're on the podium, but slightly disappointing for the position we were in. And after our first ever Tour de France podium, we will move on to stage 16, Pas de la Casse to Saint-Gaudens, a 167.8 kilometer medium mountain stage, but it's another one that we're going to look to get in the break on. I think we can stick with the group over these mountains and maybe have a shot if we can stay away until those final two hills where we can really come into our own. But this is really our last shot at a stage win here at the Tour de France. And again, fortunately, we were able to get into the early breakaway, but this time it is a little, just a tiny bit stronger, with Mathieu van der Poel and Julien Alaphilippe joining me, so that does put a little dent in our chances there towards the finish, but we're still gonna give it our best and try and come out of here with a stage win. And unfortunately here at the top of the second climb, the pace is just way too high. These climbers are really putting the pressure onto us punchers, but we're going to have to look to regain some stamina here on the downhill while simultaneously catching them. And I do not know if that's going to be possible, but we're going to give it a go before this final climb. And we have made it to the final climb with 37.5K left to go. And it was a coordinated effort by the group to drop just me. So incredibly hard to hold on. But we're going to try and stick just behind him and maybe catch up after this climb. I think maybe the stage might be over for us with the way our stamina is looking. They were just, nobody was pulling besides me, and every time I would go to the back, they would send 3 or 4 riders, and then nobody would chase it down. So another annoying little turn of events here, but it looks like our stage has unfortunately come to an end. And here with 3.5K to go, Mathieu van der Poel has won the stage ahead of Julien Alaphilippe. We have distanced ourselves from the other 2 riders we were riding in here with. As we start the final little ramp, we're going to throw a little sprint in there to gain a tiny bit more time, but we come across the line in 7th place. And that will bring us to the final stage of the Tour de France. Stage 21, Chateau to the Champs-Élysées, a 119.4 kilometer flat stage. It's not one that we're going to be looking to win, and with Jonathan Milan down there at 80% fitness, I don't think any of our team, bar maybe Fred Wright, is really going to have a shot at winning this. But I mean, first Tour de France, you have to visit the Champs-Élysées. And with 25K to go, thereabouts, we are definitely on the beautiful cobbles of the famous Champs-Élysées. You can see the Arc de Triomphe in the background, and this is definitely going to be a bunch sprint. Fred Wright tried joining the break. I tried joining the break. They wouldn't let anybody get over 30 seconds, which is fair enough, so we're going to have to try our luck in a bunch sprint against the best sprinters in the world on cobbled roads. It's not going to go well for us, but I mean, look how pretty it is. That's what we're all here for, right? Is beautiful Paris. And with 9K to go, we are starting to try and move to the front, and we're going to use the only trick we really have is to try and attack underneath this bridge that's coming up right about now. We'll use aerodynamic positioning, but everybody else ramping up their efforts in preparation as we're going to attack and see if we can get over in first, which we definitely can't. So we're going to lead out the group on the Champs-Élysées, or not even that. We're going to try and follow Arnaud Delis, and that's definitely not going to go well with where our stamina is at right now, but we don't really have much of a choice. 2K left, as looks like Alpecin de Koenig starting to take over. We get in Jasper Philipsen's way, which is actually pretty ideal for us. And our red bar is already gone, but we're going to start our sprint anyway. And it looks like it's going to be Arnaud Delis, Ethan Vernon, Christophe Laporte to finish the Tour de France in style. And there we see Arnaud Delis getting his winner's trophy for the stage. And if we take a look at the rest of the categories, the GC winner is Jonas Vingegaard. No surprise there. His domestique Tadej Pogacar finishing in 5th place. What a joke of a team. And the best climber will be Mathieu van der Poel with 73. He was in great form, so again, no surprise there. And we move on to points where Arnaud Delis finishes 14 points ahead of Wout van Aert, so very close there, but Arnaud Delis does end up getting it. And the young rider Andrea Piccolo just ahead of Juan Ayuso as we finish 8th place, in that category. And in the team classification, Jumbo-Visma wins by 18 minutes, 21 minutes over that Q36.5 team, which is actually a pretty big shock to me. But that will bring to an end our first Tour de France with Vladimir Saracen at 22 years old. I'd say he did himself justice there, not quite getting the stage win, but a podium, a fourth place finish, and some decent finishes in some other stages that we really didn't have any business being that good in. But next episode will be at least my main objective for the season, the one I've been looking forward to, La Vuelta, which is much more friendly for us. We've got 3 hill stages in the first 7 days, have another one on stage 19, and we've got medium mountain stages galore, which we know we can compete in. So we're not only going to be looking for stage wins, we're going to see if we can maybe go ahead and disrupt the GC battle. But I wanted to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please feel free to subscribe or to leave a like. I put out one video of this series every week and one video of our Team Sky Career Mode series every weekend. And for now, I wanted to say thank you again, and I will see you later.